Hello, bonjour. It is Kenyon here. Comment ça va after that win? I'm doing great, ça va bien. So, let's go over the game. The Raptors won 100 to 105 in favor of the Raptors, by the way. And guess what? They were playing the Dallas Mavericks for the second time this season. Okay, so in my opinion, I watched the game and I saw a lot of good things. So let's go through it. First quarter happened 29 to 24, but it didn't it did not look like that throughout the entirety of that quarter. The Raptors got off to an awful start and really had to fight through in Raptors-y fashion, fight back, getting gritty, grimy, and playing really good defense to get back into that quarter, really. And from that point onwards, the Raptors did not lose a quarter until the fourth, but they held on to that. So the next quarter, they went 30 to 23. After that, 27 to 21, and finished off the game 27 to 24. So let's go through a couple of the numbers here. The first thing is that the Raptors got back to dominating in the paint, which is something that I've been calling for a while since Siakam went down. It's actually something that I called for before the season actually even began. I think that the Raptors do best when they can get to the rim and create enough rim pressure because there's enough 6'9" guys on this team to create different mismatch opportunities. Okay? And once you create those mismatch opportunities, you then create for other guys. So the Raptors dominated in that area 54 to 42. Fast break points, was not a lot of fast break points to be had. There were fast break opportunities here and there, but there weren't a lot of fast break points that were generated, which was 8 to 6. The bench scoring was fairly even, 30 to 33 in favor of Dallas, that is. And so, yeah, so it's not really, there weren't really a ton of differences to glean from that, except for the points in the paint. What I noticed is that I would say from midway through the second quarter onwards, OG was absolutely relentless in attacking the basket. It's something that I want to see from OG, from Scotty, from Siakam. Literally anyone who is 6'9" on the team and who has some sort of ball skills, I want to see them just relentless with it. This was probably, although not the most efficient, it was the best game from an aggression standpoint that I've seen OG play in a little bit of time. And what I mean by that is he was absolutely relentless. He kind of reminded me of an early DeMar DeRozan, and what I mean by that is early DeMar DeRozan was really good with aggression, but he wasn't always getting the calls in terms of free throws. At one point, OG had driven again relentlessly again and again and again to the hoop, and he had only had, I think, one free throw attempt for the game at that point. That was pretty late into this one. So I think OG in total had eventually was able to get to the line about 7 times, which was good, but it took the refs a little bit of time, and he practically had to get mugged at times just to get a call. I want to give a shout out to Wancho, Bo Cruz, Bo Constrictor, Hernan Gomez. He played really solidly. He's been really good on the defensive end for the past couple games, and his shot is coming back. We knew the shot would come back eventually, but it's really good to see him find his role. And when everyone's healthy, I expect him to play a rotation minutes. He did a really good job in this one. He seems to be getting a little bit more comfortable with his role, which is good to see. Okay, now on to some of the bad things. Gary Trent did not play the best from several standpoints. Again, his shot, when it's not hitting, it seems to affect a lot of other areas of his game. I will give him credit. He did try to be very active on the defensive end. He did have 4 steals. And so from that standpoint, I do want to commend him. He was also more active in terms of passing the ball, which is really, really good to see. And he was also active on the board. So while I'm saying it's a negative, he did find other ways to contribute. Whereas in the past, he wasn't really contributing in a lot of other ways. It was just kind of shooting, shooting, shooting. So even though he went 1 of 5 from three, 3 of 12 from the floor, overall, I do want to commend Gary for positive things. At the same time, there were times when the Raptors would be on a streak. Gary would get out of position on the defensive end, try to do a weird steal from behind, where he tries to sneak from the opponent. He would then allow that player to get a non-shooting foul called on him. Into the bonus with 50 seconds left. And that was actually something that was pointed out by Brad from Too Much Hoops. It's one of those things where it's like he does these things that there are bad decisions, and as he himself is saying, it's not really worth it, and it ends up he's very spot on with that. Really good Reddit, really good Twitter person who has put out really good videos about defense, specifically about the Raptors. There's a couple key plays that I saw near the end of the game. OG had a one push shot, really, really solid, with about a 1 minute remaining to put them up by 3. That was a really, really big shot. And then again, Boucher, holy smokes, he has been on an absolute tear. Almost every single game for the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 games, he has basically scored 20 points or 18 points at the very least, and had close to 10 dimes in every single one of those. Great stuff by Chris Boucher. But with about 30 seconds left, Chris Boucher goes up with an and one tough bucket, and guess what? He has a free throw, and if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back, but I believe he actually iced the game with no, I was wrong. He did not ice the game with that. What actually iced the game was Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, right after that, had a steal. He had actually 2 steals in this one from identical spots on the floor to snuff plays out. And it was actually Thaddeus Young's steal that capped off the game. Thad Young been playing great as an offensive hub. There's times in this game when you would see the offense get a little bit excited, get a little bit sped up because of the frenetic pace that they're playing at. And at the same time, you would just see guys like Thaddeus kind of take that deep breath and slow things down and get a really good shot going, initiated through him. So good stuff by Thaddeus. Good overall stuff by everyone. Shout out also to Birch. I think Birch played really well in this one. He was, again, really relentless with the pick and roll. And speaking of pick and roll, Doughton did something that I really, really liked, and this was very early on. I believe this is in definitely the first half of the game. He actually hit Birch on the short roll, and it's just something that our guards don't tend to do so far. It's one thing that I think that the short pass on the pick and roll can be significantly better, and it needs to be better, and I want it to be better. So yeah. Okay, so with that being said, let's go through just a couple more things with this game. Again, we did take care of the ball. Dallas did a better job of, almost 30 assists to 20, but we did take care of the ball overall. The other thing is that our overall field goal percentage was way up in this one compared to some of the recent losses that we've had. So that's actually something that's really good to see. Second chance points is really where the tail of the tape is, and that's why you've got to relentlessly attack. When we relentlessly attacked with OG, I saw so many things open up because guess what? No one on Dallas could really cover OG. I guess Luka hypothetically could, but Luka is not really guarding anyone or getting into foul trouble for anyone, at least not in this one, from what I could see. And so again, once that happened, it opened up things for Fred VanVleet. It opened up things for other guys. It opened up passes and open shots for Bo Cruz. So to me, that's really where we won, is by relentlessly attacking and using our size advantage and athletic advantages. And again, this is something that I want to see in the future. Keep running it down, keep penetrating the paint, keep going inside every single time until they break. We have a team that is capable of doing it, and when that happens, then you can open up things for other guys. It's something that I want to see more. When Siakam is back, I do want to see a little bit more ball movement. I do agree with some other fans or posters or whatever saying that, yeah, we were doing a little bit of heliocentrism. I think it's good to have some of those reps here and there for different guys as well, not just for Siakam, but for Scotty and others as well. But ultimately, I think that the Raptors do best when they can play closer overall to an egalitarian system. So it's something that I want to see when they come back. OG, really good performance, 2 blocks, 2 steals. I want to give the player of the game. I don't usually do this, but the player of the game I do want to give to Chris Boucher. Great job off the bench, not off the bench this time, but being that chaos unit and really just putting on a showing. He has been a great. He was off the bench this time. He has been great as a performer in the past couple games. So yeah, really good stuff. Thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in. Take care and peace.